ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः प्रज्ञानां शुप्रतानैस्थिरचरनिकरव्यापिभिर्व्याप्य लोकान् भुक्त्वा भोगान् स्थविष्ठान् पुनरपि धिषणोद्भासितान् कामजन्यान् पीत्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् स्वपिति मधुरभुङ् मायया भोजयन्नः माया संख्यातुरीयं परममृतमजं ब्रह्म यत्तन्नतोऽस्मि यो विश्वात्मा विधिज विषयान् प्राश्य भोगान् स्थविष्ठान् पश्चाच्चान्यान् स्वमति विभवान् ज्योतिषा स्वेन सूक्ष्मान् सर्वानेतान् पुनरपि शनैः स्वात्मनि स्थापयित्वा हित्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् विगतगुणगणः पात्वसौ नस्तुरीयः।
Mandukya Karika, chapter 3, Karika 25. Read.
सम्भूतेरपवादाच्च सम्भवः प्रतिषिध्यते कोन्वेनं जनयेदिति कारणं प्रतिषिध्यते।
Further reason is given why Advaya, non-duality alone, is the reality. There is nothing other than Brahma. So, and it is based on Ishavasya Upanishad, wherein at a particular place the Hiranyagarbha Upasana is negated. Now, Hiranyagarbha is the topmost in the creation. If that topmost entity in the creation is negated, means it is not ultimate reality. Ultimate reality cannot be negated. And that means if Hiranyagarbha is negated, what to speak of the rest of the creation? The most exalted entity in the creation is negated, means the entire creation also is on the same category. So therefore, what remains is what? Advaya, Brahma only is the reality. Other thing, maybe it is true that today means now means in the realm of ignorance, in the realm of avidya, ajnana, Atma, Brahma may appear as Jiva Samsari. It is so for all ignorant people. But on gaining Brahma Jnana, Atma Jnana, when the Jiva discovers oneself to be Atma, Brahma, Swarupa, what cause is that which can make this Atma what? Again, Jiva, appear as Jiva. No cause whatsoever. You may mistake the roof for a snake. But once you have discovered the rope in the place of the snake in light, there cannot be any cause which can make that rope be taken by you as a snake. Impossible. From that standpoint also, Advaya Brahma is the reality. We are seeing the Bhashya. Read the Bhashya from Andham Tamaha up to Iti. Ye avidyam upasate iti.
अंधम तमः प्रविशन्ति ये संभूतिम उपासते इति संभूतेः उपास्यत्वापवादात् संभवः प्रतिषिध्यते न हि परमार्थतः संभूतायां संभूतौ तदपवाद उपपद्यते ननु विनाशेन संभूतेः समुच्चय विध्यर्थः संभूत्यपवादः यथा अंधम तमः प्रविशन्ति ये अविद्याम् उपासते इति.
So it is pointed out in the 12th mantra of Ishavasya, Andham Tama Pravishanti, etc. Herein, the Upasya, the deity that is to meditate upon, namely Hiranyagarbha, is what? That Pratishidhyate is negated. So that means if Hiranyagarbha were, who is the, what is that, representative of the creation, were the ultimate reality, it should be always there, it cannot be negated. And yet it is negated. That means it cannot be the ultimate reality. To this, the Purapaksha contends that, sir, what is condemned there is the independent upasana of Hiranyagarbha to the exclusion of karma. Means what Shruti wants to emphasize is the simultaneous practice of karma and Hiranyagarbha upasana, and not exclusive Hiranyagarbha upasana to the without the karma. For which he gives the example of mantra 9. In mantra 9, karma and any other upasana, its simultaneous practice was emphasized. Practice of any one of the two was condemned there. Likewise here also, what is the Shruti wants to point out is the samuchaya, synthesis, simultaneous practice of both these two. To which Siddhanti says, yes sir, you are right. We agree, that is the purpose, we know. That is now that portion, now let us see. Continue, satyam eva.
सत्यमेव देवता दर्शनस्य संभूति विषयस्य विनाश शब्दवाच्यस्य च कर्मणः समुच्चय विधानार्थः संभूत्यपवादः.
Siddhanti says, you are correct, sir. Yes, we agree with that. Satyameva, what you said is true. What is it? Devata darshanasya sambhuti vishayasya, that is samuchay vidhanartha. Samuchay vidhanartha. For the sake of simultaneous practice of what? Number 1, Devata darshanasya sambhuti vishayasya. Devata darshana, here darshana means upasana. The upasana of the devata, in particular of sambhuti, means Hiranyagarbha, number 1. And vinash means the upasana of Hiranyagarbha pointed out by Sambhuti in the mantra with Vinasha Shabdavachasya Karmana Samuchaya Vidhanartha, with the karma which is referred to there as Vinasha. This is what terminology used in the Upanishad. Hiranyagarbha upasana to be simultaneously practiced with the Vinasha means practice of karma referred to by Vinasha. Of these two, Samuchaya Vidhanartha, for the sake of advocating, highlighting the simultaneous practice of these both. Sambhuti apavada. Apavada, negation of single practice of Hiranyagarbha. He is taking to Hiranyagarbha upasana singly without the karma. That is what, for that purpose, that only taking to Hiranyagarbha upasana is condemned, is negated. That is true. Even then, it means what? Hiranyagarbha is negated. If the reality, it cannot be negated. Continue.
तथापि विनाशाख्यस्य कर्मणः स्वाभाविकज्ञानप्रवृत्तिरूपस्य मृत्योः अतितरणार्थत्ववद् देवतादर्शन कर्मसमुच्चयस्य पुरुषसंस्कारार्थस्य कर्मफलरागप्रवृत्तिरूपस्य साध्यसाधनैषणाद्वयलक्षणस्य मृत्योरतितरणार्थत्वम्.
Those who don't know Saurus, they will get a heart attack in such long sentences come. There is nothing difficult there. Only because you don't know Saurus, it is that. Phrase by phrase, everything is clear. We'll see that. Tathapi, even then means what? Even if the apavada, negation of Hiranyagarbha is meant to refute or to condemn the practice of Hiranyagarbha upasana singly without performance of karma, even though it is so, happy. Vinashakhyasya karmana. Now he gives the purpose of practice of karma and the purpose of what? Practice of upasana when taken together. When there is samuchaya, this word samuchaya should be familiar with. We can say simultaneous practice. Literally it means synthesis. The synthesis, simultaneous practice. See, of karma. What is that karma? Called or described by the word vinasha. Vinashakhyasya karmana. Of karma, which is described by the word vinasha. Swabhavika ajnana pravrutti rupasya mrityoho atitaranarthatvavat. In simultaneous practice, the practice of karma is meant to overcome such mrityu. What is that mrityu? We'll see. What is that mrityu? That mrityu is in this form, of this nature. Swabhavika ajnana pravrutti. Swabhavika, natural. You need not put forth any effort, or own they come. Ajnana pravrutti means ashastriya pravrutti. Every human being is mixture of two. You know what is that? Man and animal. In fact, Satyasai will say, see, you have to remind yourself. I am a man and not an animal. I am a man and not animal, because tendencies of animals are there also in the man, human being. Lower tendencies are there, like higher tendencies also are there. You have to ascertain that, practice the higher tendencies and get rid of the lower tendencies. So now here, ajnana pravritti rupasya. Mrityoho. Mrityu, so-called mrityu, death, means harmful. In the form of ajnana pravritti, means ashastriya pravritti. Taking to actions, karma, which are prohibited by Shastra. Everyone has got a tendency. But to what extent one has control over that, that determines the individual to what extent he is mature. So, see, in the subconscious mind, all such tendencies are there. The person is good, but inside what? At times, such things are, they come out. Some damage to the brain or something like that. Some this. The person is not conscious. Not, but these tendencies in the unconscious mind surface out. Many years, many decades back, one great Bhagavata Kathakara from Kerala was there, Nambudri. I think Nambudri, or I don't know what. Very famous, truly religious, very honest. Something happened, brain hemorrhage or something, we don't know, some brain problem cropped up. He was in Delhi. And he was talking all the time. Rubbish which cannot be heard. Person was perfect. But past samskaras, they surface. Like that it happens. So that means the case. So every being, but at a conscious level, he had that kind of mastery over it. It is there. Rubbish is there inside. But it cannot do any harm to him. But unconsciously it came out. Because of some damage, the conscious mind was not in its position to function. Anyway, so that is it happens. That doesn't mean that my person is bad. Oh, he was here like this. No. He's a good person, Dharmatma only. But it happens. Because in everyone, how deep that differs. It is there. So now here, at the conscious level, ajnana pravritti rupasya, that which is described in the form of vinasha karma, what does it do? These pursuits which are positively prohibited by the Shastra, which is called as mrityu, of that mrityu, atitaranarthatvavat, being meant for crossing over it. In short, it only this much. Just as in the simultaneous practice of karma and Hiranyagarbha upasana, the practice of karma is meant to overcome the ashastriya pravritti, the tendencies prohibited by Shastra, so which is called as mrityu. Number one, mrityu. Other mrityu is going to come. Then, why it should be clubbed with the Hiranyagarbha upasana? That also helps to overcome something else. What is it? Devata darshana. Darshana means upasana here. Devata darshana karma samuchayasya, means the samuchaya, simultaneous practice of karma with the devata darshana, Hiranyagarbha upasana in this context. What for it is? Purusha Samskararthasya is to develop samskaras, good impressions in the mind. And what is that Purusha Samskara? Which is in the form of what? Another removal of other type of mrityu. What is that? Purusha Samskara karma phala raga pravrutti rupasya sadhya sadhaneshana dvaya lakshanasya prityoho atitaranartham. So this samuchaya is meant for mrityoho atitaranartham, to cross over the second type of mrityu. And what is the second type of mrityu is described by the rest of the phrases there. So what is that second type of mrityu? So that the Purusha Samskara, good samskars can be inculcated, that which is the form of karma phala raga pravrutti rupasya. That second mrityu is in the form of pravrutti, pursuit of having asakti, having priti in the karma phalas. Earlier mrityu was ashastriya pravrutti, to overcome that. So this other one is upasana is meant for getting rid of the mrityu. Mrityu means undesirable thing, in the form of karma phala raga pravritti rupasya, in the form of pravritti, pursuit, wherein one runs after the raga, asakti, priti for karma phala. What is it exactly? It is further described as sadhya sadhana eshanadvaya lakshanasya. That karma phala raga pravritti is characterized by that is what? Eshanadvaya. Two types of desires. What are those? Sadhya sadhana means sadhya eshana. Sadhya, this sadhana eshana and sadhya eshana, two types of eshanas. Little, you should be careful here, because that word eshana has come. Those who have studied little Vedanta, etc., they are familiar with the word eshanatraya. Eshana means desire. Three types of desires generally we have seen from Brihadaranyaka. What is that? Putraishana, Vittaishana, Lokaishana. Desire for having son, progeny, means desire for marriage already there. What for? I should do karma, yajna yagas, so that I can get heaven. For which what is necessary? Vittaishana. Yajna yagas are need lot of money. So Vittaishana, desire for wealth, so that I can perform the yajna yagas and get the heavens, different types of heaven, depending on what I do. Putraishana, Vittaishana, Lokaishana. Actually, all types of desires can be clubbed in these three categories. Now, this three Eshanatraya, Eshanatraya means three Eshana, three types of desire is clubbed as one. What is that? Sadhana Eshana. Desire for means. What is the end then? Sadhya Eshana. The three types of heavens. What are those? Not heaven. Three types of lokas. Manushya loka, Pitru loka, Deva loka. To acquire the gains here in the human embodiment. Manushya loka. To acquire the Pitru lokas, certain types of lower heavens. Deva loka. To gain higher Deva up to Brahma loka. So therefore, that desire in the form of two not desire, there are two types of desires. One is sadhana yeshana, which comprises putraishana, vittaishana, lokaishana. Other one is sadhyaishana. Desire for sadhya is for manushya loka, pitruloka, and devaloka yeshana. So therefore, this yeshana dvaya, sadhya yeshana, sadhana yeshana, sadhya yeshana, is considered as another mrityu. Why so? It will be known afterwards. It is hindering your accomplishment of something which is very great. What is that something which is great? Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana, discovery of yourself as Brahma Swarup. So long as you are a victim of these desires, sadhya and sadhana, yeshana dvaya, you cannot hope to aspire for Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana. Just as earlier, ashastriya pravrittis, etc. are hindrance, so also the pursuit of these two desires also hindrance for gaining the Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana. It has to be overcome, for which what happens? This simultaneous practice of karma and Hiranyagarbha upasana helps so that you get such samskaras, Purush samskaras, such a disposition which is capable of gaining Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana. So therefore, karma phala raga pravritti rupase. Purush samskaras, by overcoming this type of mrityu. What is that mrityu? Which is in the form of two types of desires. One is karma phala raga pravritti rupase. That is sadhya sadhana yeshana dvaya lakshanasya. Mrityu. Other one which I was told earlier. What is that? Swabhavika ajnana pravritti rupasya mrityu. So, therefore, this upasana is meant to get rid of these two types of mrityus. Mrityoho atitaranartatva is meant for crossing over this type of mrityu in the form of two yeshanas. Why all this? Because a person, a seeker, a sadhaka who has crossed over these two types of mrityus, lower animal tendencies prohibited by the Shastras, plus desire for, what is that? The sadhana and sadhya in terms of heavens. For such a person, what is that? He gets such disposition or such samskaras that he becomes eligible to take to Atma Vichara, Brahma Vichara, and gain Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana. Continue.
एवं हि एषणाद्वय रूपान् मृत्योः अशुद्धेः वियुक्तः पुरुषः संस्कृतः स्यात्. अतः मृत्योः अतितरणार्था देवता दर्शन कर्म समुच्चय लक्षणा हि अविद्या.
Evam हि has made clear that the samuchaya, simultaneous practice of karma and Hiranyagarbha upasana, is meant to overcome these two types of mrityus to develop the samskaras for gaining the highest gain, Brahma Vidya. Evam hi eshanadvaya rupad mrityoho ashuddhehe viyuktaha purusha. Purusha, the person. Who is that? Viyuktaha, separated, means cleansed from. What? Ashuddhi, impurity. What impurity? In the form of mrityu, two types of mrityu. What are they? Eshanadvaya. Thus, the person who is cleansed of the impurities in the form of sadhana eshana, that is putraishana, vittaishana, lokaishana, and sadhaishana. Sadhaishana is what? No, putra vitta karma. Sadhaneshana is not loka. Putraishana is this. Sadhaneshana is putra vitta karma. Progeny, son, because he is useful in the what is called as sampriti karma. Means if this person has become old and is not able to perform his karmas, he hands over the charge to the son, who does for the sake of father. Karma, who is done by who? Son. But result goes to whom? Father. So therefore putra is necessary. So as per the Vedic karmas. So here, so that is sadheshana is putra vitta karma, and sadheshana is manushya loka, pitruloka, devaloka. So therefore evam eshana dvaya rupa mrityu viyuktasya purusha, viyuktaha purusha. A person who is free, has freed oneself from the impurities in the form of sadhana eshana and sadheshana. And as a result, who is the Sanskrita hasya? He becomes Sanskrita, purified, cultured, mature. See, Sanskrita. You know, our Girvana Bhashya, Deva Bhashya is called Sanskrita. Why? Samyak kritam. Very thoroughly made. See, the word of the language itself shows samyak. And nowadays they are slowly finding out. No language can match Sanskrit. It's the mother of all the languages. It's that its construction itself is so thorough. It doesn't leave any room for any ambiguity. Declensions, what is the terminations and conjugations and all that, such as thing. Any word you place at any place in the sentence, the meaning remains the same, which is not case with many other languages. And when a comma can create havoc. So that a comma at wrong place. When a comma at wrong place, you know that we must leave him not, hang him, leave him, hang him not, etc. All that. So therefore, Sanskrita hasya becomes purified. Purified means what? Eligible to gain or to take to the pursuit of gaining Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana. Ataha. Ataha means Samuchaya is not meant to gain the Amrutatva, immortality in terms of Brahma Jnana. Samuchaya, simultaneous practice, is meant for gaining this samskara, and therefore, ataha, mrityoho atitaranartha devata darshana karma samuchaya lakshana hi avidya. Therefore, this simultaneous practice of karma and Hiranyagarbha upasana, both being the product of avidya. We'll come that why it is a product of avidya, we'll come to that. So both is being meant for this purpose. What for purpose? Mrityoho atitaranartha. To cross over the mrityu. What mrityu here? Both types. Shastra pravritti and eshana dvaya. Sadhana eshana, sadheshana. All this. Okay? atitarnartha atitarnartha characterized by devata darshana karma samuchaya lakshana. Characterized by samuchaya, simultaneous practice of what? Devata darshana, hiranyagarbhupasana, and karma, vinasha, what told us, karma. And both are nothing but avidya. Means in karma, you have to identify yourself with the body and then you do the karma. Okay. Without avidya, it's not possible. In upasana also, you take hiranyagarbha different from you. Again, identity with the body is there. So that were whether the vinasha, the karma, or hiranyagarbha sambhuti, the hiranyagarbha upasana, both are nothing but the product of vidya and therefore avidya only. And when you get rid of avidya, you discover yourself to be the amrita, the immortal, which can never be samsari jiva. Continue. Now, the real purpose of the synthesis, simultaneous practice of karma and hiranyagarbhupasana is this. Continue.
एवम् एवमेव एषणा लक्षणाद् अविद्यया मृत्योः अतितीर्णस्य विरक्तस्य उपनिषच्छास्त्रार्थलोचनपरस्य नान्तरीयकी परमात्मैकत्वविद्योपपत्तिः इति पूर्वभाविनीम् अविद्याम् अपेक्ष्य पश्चाद्भाविनी ब्रह्मविद्या अमृतत्वसाधनम् एकेन पुरुषेण सम्बध्यमाना अविद्यया समुच्चीयत इति उच्यते.
There, evam eva, eshana lakshan after the eighth in the book, it is the Kailasasana book, it is like this. Eshana lakshanad avidyaya. That the is there, no? Strike it off. The should not be there. It is not avidya lakshanat avidyayaha. It is avidya lakshana vidyayaha. That is not avidya lakshana. Eshana lakshana vidyaya. Of avidya characterized by eshanas. What eshanas? Eshana dvaya. Evam, that is synthesis, is because the hiranyagarbhupasana by itself cannot give the ultimate immortality, and samuchaya, simultaneous practice, is meant for getting rid of this two types of mrityus. So, eshana lakshana vidyayaha mrityoho atitirnasya. Atitirnasya, in the case of a person who has crossed over of what? Mrityu. What type of mrityu? Mrityu in the form of the avidya characterized by eshana. Evam eva, in this manner, eshana lakshana vidyayaha mrityu. Of mrityu characterized by avidya in the form of desires. Or desires what? Shastra pravritti and eshana dvaya. Atitirnasya viraktasya. Person who has crossed over, who has got freed himself from this avidya in the form of eshanas, desires, as a result, who has become viraktasya, who has developed vairagya. He is not interested in any result that can be procured by single practice of karma or single practice of upasana, including Hiranyagarbha upasana. What is that Hiranyagarbha upasana after that? Brahmaloka, even the post of Hiranyagarbha, Virat also are there at the lower level. So he is not interested in that. Means we have developed a perfect Veda. And to get rid of this type of mrityu, it takes the samuchaya of this both karma and upasana, and not interested in the individual result of karma or upasana. Karma, upasana, they have got individual result. He is not interested. But he wants those samskaras, that disposition, which enables him to take to Brahma Vidya and gain the Brahma Jnana, for which he has taken to the Samuchaya. So he says, Viraktasya, and such person is capable for what? Upanishad Shastrarthalochana Parasya. Means one who is capable of taking to Alochana, means analysis, thinking, consideration of Artha, meaning means the teaching that is there in the Upanishad Shastra. What is it? Taking to Vedanta Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Who, as a result of this samskaras that are gained by the simultaneous practice of karma and upasana, Hiranyagarbha upasana, wherein earlier unwanted tendencies or desires he has got rid of. For such a person, what viraktasya, underline that word viraktasya. Upanishad Shastrarthalochana Parasya. For such a person, he says, which come to that, Brahma Jnana is what? Something which is bound to take place, provided one takes to the alochana, inquiry in the Upanishad Shastra, becoming oneself virakta. That is important. Otherwise, he will do for PhD degree. Other desire. No. To gain the moksha. So viraktasya. See, therefore, see, lot of Vedanta is going on. Good. At least one day or other, the real purpose will be known. Even this pursuit also gives punya. Nothing wrong. It's a good thing. But that Vedanta works as pramana, provided what is technically called as samagris are there. Eyes help to see the form, pramana, pratyaksha pramana. But samagris must be there. What is that? The form that is to be seen has to be in light. And that form has to be in the range of the sight of this seer. So you are sitting here and 10 kilometers or something is there. Are you able to see it? Even if there is no barrier in between. So like this. So here, that person who has that samagri, like that, samagri for taking to Vedanta pramana is what you know popularly as sadhana chatushya sampatti, viveka, vairagya, shamadamadi shatka sampatti, mukshutva. Among all these things, all these values, all these preparations are centered on one thing, that is Vairagya. Because all these sadhanas are to make the mind introvert, antarmukha. It is the value for Vishayas which make the mind extrovert, bahirmukha. No value for Vishaya means Vairagya. Once Vairagya is there, rest of the value or the rest of this practice is easy. Mastery of the mind, mastery of the senses, that rise easy. Of course, they may be mutually connected, that is true. So therefore, say, for such a person who is virakta as described so far, and who is committed to alochana, inquiry in the artha, teaching or tatparya, the purport of Shastra, for him, he says, this is certain. What is certain? Paramatmaikatva vidyotpatti na antariyaki. For this person, na antariyaki means avasham bhavini, bound to take place. See, it is that the phrase is like this. Na antariyaki means, it means, literally means inseparable or invariably connected. Na antariyaki means inseparable, invariably connected means avasham bhavini is bound to take place. What is it? Utpatti, the birth. Birth of what? Paramatmaikatva vidya. Atma vidya, Brahma vidya is bound to be born, bound to take place. Iti. In short, it means by such, of course, these are one of the sadhanas of having vairagya, that is karma and Hiranyagarbha upasana, simultaneous practice to gain the vairagya, to become eligible to take to Shravanamana in Dhyasana. So for him, why? For him, this Brahma Vidya is bound to take place, means he is bound to gain the Brahma Vidya. Iti Purva Bhavinim Avidyam Apeksha Paschat Bhavini Brahma Vidya Amrutatva Sadhanam Ekena Purushena Sambadhyamana Samuchete, will say afterward. Therefore, what is that? The earlier avidya, Purva Bhavinim, which was means the seeker was earlier in the realm of avidya. Apeksha, taking into consideration or with respect to the avidya that this seeker was earlier in. Paschat Bhavini Brahma Vidya. Now, hereafter, having got the Vairagya and taken to Vedanta Shravanamana Dhyasana, what is going to take place or what is going to accomplish now? Paschat Bhavini, that comes into existence later. Now, what is that? Brahma Vidya. And what is that Brahma Vidya? Amrutatva Sadhanam. Brahma Vidya, which is the means of final immortality. Upasanas can give relative, like Satya, Brahmaloka, etc. But here, final, this thing, Amrutatva Sadhanam. Ekena Purushena. Both these to be taken to by a single sadhaka. So what is it? Ending of avidya as told earlier. Gaining of Brahma Vidya by gaining Vairagya and what is that? Alochana, Shravanamana, Nididhyasana. ekena purushena, by given individual, sambadhyamana, being connected. How connected? Kramena. First, getting rid of that avidya in terms of mrityus, then taking the pursuit of Shravana Mandijasana, having Vairagya. So therefore, these pursuits are connected to a given individual. How? Kramena, one after the other. First, get rid of the Mrityu and then take to Shravana Mandijasana, etc., having got the Vairagya. So therefore, Sambadhyamana, Avidyaya. There you add it after Avidyaya, then the sentence will be complete. Kramena Brahma Vidya Samuchiyate. So that is with that earlier Avidya, in terms of the Mrityu, its elimination. With that, the forthcoming Vidya is what? Samuchiyate. It means is connected. Is that simultaneous practice. Simultaneous in the sense one after the other. Iti uchyate. This is the purpose of this negation of Sambhuti Hiranyagarbha. Only this much, nothing much. By simultaneous practice of karma and Hiranyagarbha upasana, you get rid of the mrityus of both types. What are both types? Ashasriya pravritti and yeshana dvaya. Sadhana yeshana, sadhya yeshana. Thereby get the samskaras. What are samskaras? That samskaras which makes you eligible to take to Brahma Vidya, having got the Vairagya. As a result, what happened? The earlier avidya gets what? Leads you to forthcoming Brahma Vidya. That is what iti uchyate. For that purpose, Sambhuti, that is Hiranyagarbha, is negated. That is true. So now, this being the case, it continues. Continue.
अतः अन्यार्थत्वात् अमृतत्व साधनं ब्रह्मविद्यामपेक्ष्य निन्दार्थ एव भवति सम्भूत्यपवादः.
He concludes why Hiranyagarbha is negated. Because ataha means what? You take this way. Ataha amritatva sadhanam brahma vidyam apeksha amritatva sadhanam brahma vidyam apeksha anyarthatva sambhutyapavadaha nindartha eva bhavati. He concludes the so far discussion that has taken place. Ataha. Therefore, what is therefore? The Sambhuti Upasana of Hiranyagarbha, being incapable of giving the Paramartha, Moksha, Brahmajnana, being incapable of giving Moksha, Paramartha, Brahmajnana, Amrutatva Sadhanam Brahma Vidyam Apeksha. Take into account with reference to the direct means of moksha, that is Brahma Vidya. Amrutatva sadhana means sakshat sadhana of moksha. Amrutatva sadhanam Brahma Vidyam apeksha. Anyarthatva, that Sambhuti Upasana being Anyartha means what? it is not meant for gaining the highest result, but to gain the sanskaras required for gaining the Brahma Vidya. That is, samuchayasya ashuddhi kshaya hetutva. Simultaneous practice of karma and Hiranyagarbha is meant for getting rid of ashuddhi, impurity, in the form of two types of mrityus, and not directly gaining the paramartha jnana. Therefore, apeksha anyarthatvad amrutatva sadhanam Brahma Vidyam. The Brahma Vidya, which is the direct means of moksha, for that purpose what? Sambhutyapavada. The negation of Hiranyagarbha is what? Nindartha eva bhavati. Is meant to censure the Hiranyagarbha because it is not Paramartha. It is not the ultimate reality. And as we have seen earlier, what is applicable to Hiranyagarbha, who is the topmost in the creation, equally applies to the entire creation. So therefore, entire creation is not in reality. It is fit to be negated. It is something appears to be there, but really not there. Continue. Yadyapi.
यद्यपि अशुद्धि वियोग हेतुः अतन्निष्ठत्वात्.
Then add adhyara sambhutyapavada siddhi. Sambhutyapavada siddhi. Okay, we'll take next time. Lot of things have been taken to. We'll take next time.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्याय्येन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि